Alright, we'll just wait for everyone to get back in here. I really don't know. Don't know what happened, y'all. Just got disconnected apparently. My internet's still up, but it cut off my stream on Twitch, my light stream, my YouTube, everything just cut off for whatever reason. So I'm gonna give people a quick second to get back in here. I was gonna ask, do you guys want me to, when we test this? Actually, I think it'll be best to leave the face mask down, and let's just see how running backs are impacted with the auto sub slider. We're gonna go back to free practice. Yeah, Keith, I don't know what happened, dude. I just got disconnected, man. I was like, what in the world happened? So what we are doing now is we're leaving the offensive line, change the auto subs. You're seeing the difference, Tony? Now we're gonna go ahead and test the auto subs for the running backs. So you guys saw the way, and it doesn't affect me. So we have to do it as the just on defense, because you're only going to see it from the CPU. So we'll just do, we can do a random run in general. It doesn't have to be a, we'll do random run and then a random play defensively. But I'm going to flip sides real quick. There's no benefit. Did he really? Yo, can you send that to me? He's big, dude. He's huge. That's freaking crazy. That means we made progress, y'all. Let's go. Choose new play. So we're gonna. It's not gonna let me choose a new play. Okay, whatever. We'll just run the play. Let's get to the CPU here. Let's see how let's see how the running back. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're just gonna random play defensively, and then we are gonna get them a random run. And let's just see how the CPU running back acts differently now, if different at all. In Madden on the beta, they don't utilize the moves. They aren't as aggressive. That's why I like to call it a... Oh, sheesh. That's why I call the auto sub slider an aggression slider. The way I look at it is the higher it goes, the less aggressive, because the more they exert energy, the likely they are to sub out more. The lower you go, they're not going to get subbed out. I mean, so anyway, we'll just watch how the running back plays. And I'll let you guys comment if you think this is different, the same, better, with how they move. 57 jump to 74. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So what you guys want to pay attention to here is the cuts, the spins, the jukes, the stiff arms, the different moves that they use, and the frequency of the usage. And what we'll do, because there's probably some people in here who didn't see how when we were doing it before, we will revert it back to 8070 and compare. I mean, I'm not seeing him do much for moves. Are you guys? There was a little bit of a cutback attempt there. We'll run 5 more plays, and then we'll revert it. And then we'll compare and contrast. So there he just followed his block. There's nothing wrong with that. He just followed his blocking. There wasn't really a need to utilize any moves there. You know, let's... We'll run one more play and then we'll revert it and run it again. There he was doing a couple cuts. So let's back out. So there's your baseline, what happens when we have it on 89, 84 for auto sub. We're going to revert it back to the 8070. And guys, there's a reason I'm doing this as a live stream and not an upload, because this is going to be for people who tune into my live streams. They get that extra information. Like, I don't want to do an upload. I want for people who support and turn on and watch me live, they get to check this stuff out. It's kind of like my thank you. So let's just hop back in. And we'll run it again, about 20 runs, and we'll see if the running back performs or acts any differently. God, that's still 57 to 74 jump. Absolutely wild to me. Random play, random play. Let's get this over with. Okay. Alright, random play defensively. And random run. Here we go. We'll run about 20 of these and compare and contrast. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you guys just watch and give your feedback. Nice little cut there. He had a similar cut in the first time around too.
Let's go.
Initially, it felt like he wasn't doing the moves that he was the first time around when he was running. But now that we're flipping it back, he's kind of running the same. What is taking so long here? Honestly, we might be able to play around with the running back auto subs, because in Madden they don't do the moves, man. on the 25 beta. I tested that extensively. They just run and follow their blockers. They don't do a lot of jukes. They're still juking and spinning and stuff here. I mean, he wasn't doing anything. I don't feel like he was doing anything less with it on the higher. He might be a little bit more shifty. That's about the only thing I could say. Might be a little bit more shifty in some of his cuts, like in doing cuts a little bit earlier. But otherwise, it's kind of the same. Yo, Tony, if you're still here, what's the running? I can see you're playing with it right now. What's it looking like for the CPU when you made the change? See, there he had, that was a nice, like the way he cut. That was different than what he did on the other one. But for the most part, it's looked and felt pretty identical. I'll let you guys drop your thoughts here, but I would almost say maybe running back auto subs could be messed with. I didn't see any gain to how they played with it on 89, 84, but I didn't really see any negative. Maybe just a little bit in the shiftiness. That's about it. I don't know. What do you guys think? 16 carries for 65 yards. Ooh, that was filthy. Okay. Did he just try to hurdle somebody? Sorry, I'm going to respond to you in a second, Tony. CPU running back just try. Yeah. If any of you have been playing and have tweaked the running back auto subs, have you seen them do this? That was a filthy interaction. That's the one reason I'm hesitant to make the auto sub change is, again, we did test it and I didn't see. I always felt like the reason was because they don't utilize as many moves. And granted, there hasn't. I have seen them do a couple things that they didn't do on the higher one. 16 for 65 is yards a carry. Would you say that is that worse than what for Tony, or is the CPU running better or worse against you? I guess the overall of the team compared to yours matters too. So if you could throw that in for context. You know what I'm also curious to test real quick? We're going to do it right now. So we reverted running backs down to the default 80-70. Does it help to make XP slider 0 in Dynasty? Doesn't help much, bro. You'll lose 90 overalls will go down, but you're going to gain a ton of 80s no matter what. You broke off a 70, so you would be 16 for 70 without that run, basically. 16 for 60 without that run. Fairly balanced. Let's take a look at... Did you mess with the face mask slider, Tony? So let's just see here. If we put running back, let's just see what it looks like if we go 0-1. Also, Tony, what's their overall compare and what's yours? Like, can you drop that information too? Maybe running backs aren't affected in College Football 25. They are in the Madden 25 beta. Let's load in. It's playing very balanced. Running the yards per carry though is a little low, but it depends on again on the teams itself. This doesn't matter. All right, we're gonna do flip sides. Choose new play. I don't even want to run a play. So respot ball. When you go into practice, it should let you pick if you want to be on offense or defense first. We're going to do random defensive play, and we're going to do a random run. All right, so we just dropped their auto subs to 0-1 to see how they utilize their moves. Yo, what's up, Tough Carter? How you doing? So you guys pay attention with me here. Let me know if you feel like they're utilizing moves in their aggression more or less. You brought face mask down to 40? Yeah, that would be to balance it out. If you had left it up at 45, I think the running would be a lot higher. I don't know if I'll go all the way down to 40. I might go... Bro, he is... Am I crazy, or is he kind of going crazy here with his jukes? I might go to like 42 or 43 on the face mask. I felt like 40 made it a little bit more NFL-ish with the like 4.5, 5 yards a carry type thing. Dynasty coaching offers. I think they have to tune that. Bro. Tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me these running backs, because there's been a rotation of them, aren't being more aggressive with their moves. Tell me I'm not crazy. Like, he tried to truck us right there. What are y'all seeing? We'll let it run a couple more times. Oh, so you're playing a very balanced game then. That's good though. Bro! 77. So you should be doing a little bit better then. Is for the CPU, yeah. Man, I feel like, I don't know. Am I crazy, you guys? Are they running the same and I'm just seeing shit? Or is he doing cuts and jukes and moves with this auto sub slider setting that he wasn't doing on 89-84 or 80-70 default? And if I'm keep monitor this so I can see your guys' comments. It only brings up my Twitch viewership comments on the screen. It doesn't bring up the YouTube ones. So I have to constantly look. I don't know, man. I feel like he's more aggressive. I'm never going to be like, hey, let's set running backs to 0-1. No, I won't do it just because of. But I definitely feel like there was a difference in the aggression. What do you guys think before we move on to adjusting? I think we had a good enough look. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But that's typically why I kind of just let it be whatever the default is. And what's crazy is default's always been this in Madden 70 for all of these. We'll put it back. I don't know. We'll put it back to here for now. I think you could probably get away with doing an 89-84. I mean, I don't know. Nobody's really said much when we dropped the different auto subs here. So I don't know. So I've had it on default, Tony. I had it at 80-70, and then I tested it at the 89-84, which is what kind of everyone does to show there really wasn't too much of a difference. I felt like maybe there was some more shiftiness in the running back when he was at 80-70, but I felt like when we dropped it to 0-1, the running back was way more shifty and aggressive. But I could just be tripping. But that's what I felt like. I don't know. But we're never going to drop it halfback in and out to 0-1. So based on what we saw, I feel like an 89-84 is definitely plausible. I want to show you guys something else too here. Because as you guys know, I don't tweak this is new for me because I haven't done it like this ever. I've always changed the gameplay sliders. I'm strictly using speed parity, auto subs, and penalties to create sliders. That's all I'm touching, right? And people kind of always wonder, I don't know if this is in free practice. We're going to find out real quick, so sorry, y'all. If not, we'll just fire up a game. But people always wonder, well, how can you even do that? And I thought it was interesting because it's like, all right, it's in here. Perfect. Coach adjustments. Okay. It's in the game. Like, they literally tell it to you. Now, they don't have... all right, well, first we'll do offense, okay? So blocking. When you leave it on balance, standard gameplay conditions apply. And this is how I use penalties, not just for increased penalty calls, but for manipulation of gameplay. So if you go conservative, and this is blocking relates to holding. So you go conservative, it literally tells you, if you go aggressive, excuse me, if you hold your blocks, if you're aggressive, you're going to have longer, blocks are going to be held longer for running in pass plays. The con is there's increased chance of holding penalty. So when you raise holding, that's exactly what this does. Because if you to aggressive, you're holding your blocks longer, you're getting an increased chance of holding. Holding slider up, which is naturally going to give you an increase to being called for holding, you're naturally going to have blocks being held longer. So when you need to have better blocking for running or passing, you raise holding. It's literally right here. And if you go conservative, decreased chances of holding. You're not holding those blocks as long, but the blocks aren't as strong against pass rush and run defense, right? So if you drop holding down, it says it right here. So instead of playing around with coaching adjustments in game, you can just use the penalty slider for holding. It literally tells you right here. So Some people just want to jack up holding, like, oh, I just want more penalty calls. But the problem is it impacts other things. It's going to impact your running game. It's going to impact your pass protection, which if you have all day to throw, you're not going to find a challenge when you're playing the CPU. On top of that, they actually finally fixed penalty rates. So in Madden, you could jack holding up to 99 and not get a holding call up until the 25. There's plenty of penalties are working in Madden 25 beta. So, and they're working here. Holding on 55, getting plenty of holding calls. You could almost even reduce it, but I didn't move it to 55 for holding calls. I moved it for pass blocking. And we could even, with the change to the auto subs, right, could even revisit that. For the offensive one, but if you go to defense, which we will, there's more on defense here. Let's flip sides and choose new play. I can't choose new play because we're already in here. Okay, we'll just do this, this, and it tells you, it gives you even more information on defense. So if we respot ball, already should be able to switch to defense here. Now, the one thing they don't have in here that they have in Madden, but it still impacts things the same way, and I'll talk about it. Perfect. Coaching adjustments. Okay. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Why is it... Where's my defense? I said switch to defense. What the... Oh, I hate this game and this... I literally hit switch side. Okay. Never mind. I was an idiot. I take back what I said. Choose new play. I forgot I was picking a play for them, so it doesn't matter. Alright, here. Now I can go coaching adjustments. Alright. So if we go to tackling. Okay. Oh my god, yo. We have a Kusa sighting, y'all. Everyone say what's up to Kusa. Kusa hasn't been in a stream in a year. We got a Kusa sighting. Everyone tell him what's up. Holy smokes. This is a legend coming out of the woodwork, man. Alright, so tackling, right? Tackling, listen to what tackling says. Again, it literally gives you this information in the game, but people don't find it. Okay. You go aggressive. AI defenders will attempt to hit stick tackles for higher fumble chance. Of course, higher chances of broken tackles and fakeouts. What is also related to aggressive tackling? Right? And if you think about it, if you go conservative, AI defenders will tackle conservatively, increase chances of allowing yards per contact. This in my opinion, and what I've done for testing, ties directly into the face mask slider. So if you raise face mask, what does that mean, right? You're going to get more face mask calls. Well, how do you get more face mask calls? The defenders have to be aggressive in their tackles. So they are more aggressive in their tackles, which can create a lot of missed tackles, right? You go aggressive, higher chance of broken tackles because you're being aggressive when you go for the tackle. And if you drop face mask, which is what I've done to improve, has 100% done, what are they not doing? They're not going for aggressive tackles. They're going for conservative wrap-up tackles, which, if you witness the gameplay, yes, the defenders or the running backs get like that 2-3 extra yards, but there are fewer broken tackles when you lower the face mask penalty sliders. So all these people I've popped in a couple streams, people creating sliders, and they're like, yeah, there's so many broken tackles, I don't know what to do. I'm going to jack up. I'm not going to call him out personally. And he straight up said, I don't know what to do about the broken tackles. He's like, there's so many broken tackles. He set run blocking to 0 because he said, chances are you're going to break a bunch of tackles and get the yards anyway. I literally commented in his chat. I said, bro, lower face masking, it'll fix it. I said it 4 times. He was commenting and responding to every single other person in the chat. He wouldn't respond to me. He wouldn't say anything to me. I'm literally telling him I don't need to give him help. I mean, he's my competition. He claims he's a god. But I'm a nice person. And wanted to help him out. And he wouldn't even acknowledge me. But that's how people are trying to fix the tackles. They're either messing with the tackle slider or they're messing with the run blocking to offset it. You don't have to do any of that. Face Mask does it. And DPI, so they don't have it in this game, but Madden, they have a setting called play ball in air. And that's how the defenders attack the ball in the air. This is the same as the defensive pass interference slider. So you have to think about the cause and effect of each slider. So when you raise the defensive pass interference slider, what is that trying to create happen? More defensive pass interference calls. But what has to happen for those defensive pass interference calls to occur? The cornerbacks have to be aggressive. They have to attack the wide receiver, which will create those calls, right? But what also happens, and you see this, is what happens when you watch the games. They were aggressive, and they got burned, and they did a pass interference to prevent giving up a big play. So the higher the DPI, the more likely the call is going to get made, but the converse of that is there's more likely a chance that they get burned off of a play because they were overly aggressive. You lower DPI, they're not as aggressive in attacking the ball because they're not being programmed to go create that call. So they're actually playing better coverage. They're reacting better. They're not being aggressive. They're just kind of sitting and waiting. And so the way I look at it is DPI, the higher it is, technically the worse the pass coverage because of the ability to beat the aggression. When it's lower, it's actually better coverage because they're not being aggressive. They're being smarter and they're sitting and they're waiting. That's what you're telling them what to do. That's exactly what you're telling them what to do. Yo, Lilorgi, if I said that right, thank you. Thank you for checking out Sim Gaming Network, man. Thank you for subscribing, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. And we're going to go through and talk about the offsides in a false start slider. So think again, what has to happen for false start to occur? Offensive line gets a jump on the snap. They're going to get into the defender, right? They're going to get an early jump to push on the defender. That's going to create bigger running lanes if they jump out and they get that head start on the defender, right? And then you think about the opposite of that. If they aren't jumping out, then the defender is typically getting the jump on them. So the way I look at it is offsides, well, false start really holding has an impact on the run blocking, but false start has a big impact on run blocking too. They jump off the ball, they get a head start on that. Offsides, conversely, is what has to happen for them to call an offsides. They have to jump early. They're jumping to potentially be offsides, but that also means they're getting a head start on the snap, which can create pushback into the pocket and close up those running lanes. So you have to find a balance between false start and offsides that you can create a pass rush with those. I mean, you think back of those of you who used my Madden 24 sliders, right? I dropped the sliders back in January. You guys rocked out on those. I appreciate it. Everyone's main complaint was there wasn't much time to throw. So I dropped an update in the comment section, lower offsides. We had offsides at 65. Offsides and false start were the same, 65 each. Lower offsides from 65 to 30. Fixed it. We didn't touch anything else. Everyone's like, oh my God, the game, it's so much better. I have time to throw now. Because they weren't getting that huge jump off the line. So this is how we're able to manipulate the gameplay. I'm leaving all the sliders at 50. I personally, after all these years of tweaking the sliders and is the first time ever I'm not touching the sliders. I'm only using penalties, speed threshold, stream to give you guys insight into how all these things impact gameplay, because the sliders, I think you can change them, and it's not just as simple as, okay, I don't want the quarterbacks to be as accurate, let's lower the accuracy. It impacts so many other things. It seems to impact how smart they are, the types of throws they make. It impacts a whole bunch of things, and it feels like it dumbs down the quarterback play. Um, and so typically there's always another layer to the sliders that if you mess with the slider, other things are affected by it too. And so with Madden 25 beta, I decided, hey, I'm going to try going with it at this route and keep everything on default. And I love it. I think it works. And honestly, I think this is going to be perfect because I'm creating this set on All-American right now, only on All-American because on Heisman, all the wide receivers have, or excuse me, all the defenders have hands of Jerry Rice on interceptions. There's no dropped interceptions on Heisman. Otherwise, I'd be on Heisman. But the thing is someone could literally take this and put this exactly how I have it in Heisman, because now Heisman doesn't have the artificial speed boosts and catch ratings and all that stuff that they've done in the past. Now the computer just plays smarter. They're more difficult to counter, things like that. So someone could literally take this, because I'm keeping all the sliders at 50, and it should just translate directly over to Heisman. It should translate down to varsity, because all you're doing with the penalties and auto subs is impacting a little bit of the mechanics of the game. So I really wanted to show you guys how this works with the penalty sliders. Now, face mask doesn't seem to get called very much, even if you raise it higher. DPI, I did have my first DPI call, but even with it high at 80, I have it at 80 right now because I want bigger plays in the passing game. I've not getting a lot of DPI calls. Roughing the passer's one that it definitely helps the pass rush, but it's super sensitive and it gets called like crazy. So I'm leaving that at 50. Illegal block in the back is another sensitive one where if you even bump it up to 55, you'll get a ton of illegal block at the back calls. What that definitely does is it helps your outside wide receivers and go down and block the field for you. But you have to be very, very careful with that one because you will get a lot of calls. So I have it at like 51 right now, checking that out. Because I tried one time at 55. First possession of the game, I had 3 illegal block in the backs at 55. So some of the penalty sliders are extremely sensitive. Others are not. And holding's one of those two. At 55, I feel like we get a pretty good amount of calls. But I also had a buddy play last night, and he's like, dude, I had a game, user and CPU, he played it with it. I have holding at 55. He said in his game, there were 8 combined holding calls. So 4 per team, which is a little high. And in the gameplay I uploaded last night, in the first half of the Rutgers game, I had 2 holding calls, the CPU had 1. And the first half of the Michigan game, I had 2 holding calls, the CPU had 1. So that was on pace for 6, which is a little bit better, you know what I mean? But that's, again, even holding, we might be able to look at lowering holding a little bit because the calls are there. False start, I haven't had a false start yet. I haven't had an offside yet, but I have had other people say that they're there. So I don't think that's one that needs to be jumped up like crazy. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead if you guys want. Let me random play this. But I really wanted to show that that people don't necessarily realize that those coaching adjustments that were there are the things they talk about literally translate into the penalty sliders. So let's make sure the auto subs. Do you guys want me to run with the auto subs at 80-70? Or do you want me to try the 89-84? Or do you want me to, I mean, what do you guys want to do there? We kind of looked at both of that. I do know that I need to go put the face mask slider down a little bit based off of the change we made to the, I'm going to try 43. I think 40 might be a little too much. And let's go to the I get a cupcake team here. So I don't know if I'll play this. I wasn't going to play this to show the slider set being dominant against like a cupcake team. But I think it'd be better to... oh no, I got UTEP. That's perfect. They're going to be even with us. Hell yeah. Let's go. They're like an 81, 82 overall too. Oh no, they're 74. Shit. What's... Oh, that's the Texas El Paso. That's... No, this is Texas... Oh, that's UTSA. Texas San Antonio. Let's look at our schedule. And see if there's a team that we could play that's a little bit more even. Not New Mexico. UNLV. UNLV would be a good one. And so would Washington State. Let's simulate up to there and play that, because I don't think we're gonna learn anything by playing against, you know, against them. So we'll just simulate a couple weeks and we'll fire up against... Do you guys want to see UNLV or the other one that was there? What was it? Western Kentucky? The Hilltoppers? Was it the Hilltoppers or was it... Gotta advance this one real quick. We'll fire it up and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it looks with these changes, man. And these are some changes that I didn't even post last night. This is stuff I discovered this morning after I had some feedback in the running game. But of course, you adjust one thing, and sometimes you gotta tweak other things too. So we got UNLV or... Who was it again? I don't remember. Washington State. Either of them would be pretty good. Let's just do UNLV. Let's just get into a game. I think it's pretty close. Yeah, 80 and 81. I think we're close enough. Wouldn't you guys say? We're close enough. Let's see what they got for... Ooh. I actually like that. But if I'm wearing... I like that. That's pretty dope if you ask me. We'll just rock their homes though. And we will rock... Yep. We're good there. The one I've been testing since day one. I play CPU versus CPU no matter my overall. I barely beat lower overall teams. What's your assessment? So when you are watching the games or when you're super simming?
Today we're set for a clash between these two rivals from the Mountain West. As we'll see, the Fresno State Bulldogs taking on a team who is rested and ready coming off a bye, the UNLV Rebels. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going.
All right, so we get to check it out first here.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So Fresno State's offense will get the first crack at it here. There he is, the man who makes everything go, and they believe they're going to score every time they touch it when he's on the field, Jesse.
He plays
All
with
right.
unbelievable confidence. Reese always knows where to go with the football. The entire playbook is at this guy's disposal.
What do I think about recruiting? I don't think recruiting is as much of a problem as people think. I think everyone freaked out about recruiting because of Bordeaux's video with Kennesaw State, where he, turned them from a 73 to like an 83 after one season, right? He did sign that 5-star recruit, but everyone's like, oh my god. It's so easy. Recruiting's so easy, Oh my god, I'm horrible. Why did I throw that? I thought he was carrying it deep. Anyway, I get distracted talking to you guys. I don't really care. But I don't think... And so then everyone is freaking out about recruiting. They're like, hey, we need to adjust recruiting. It's too easy. Look at what happened with Bordeaux. He turned Kennesaw State from a 73 to an 83 in one season. And everyone blamed the recruiting. But the video that I put out, I've talked to Bordeaux about this. He actually messaged me on X when I dropped my video about the Dynasty program. So shout out to him for being kind and talking to a much smaller streamer like myself. But he's messaged me a few times, and he said, yeah, there's definitely an issue with progression. I told him I don't think he's recruiting. The massive jumps. Wow, that was a good drive by them. Not really paying attention, but it's okay. I think it's more the XP issues, right? And someone even posted in this chat. They had what was it? He said he had a 57 overall center who did not play jump to a 74 overall in 1 year. Didn't play. Jumped 17 overall. And the video that I did proves that happens all over the place. And so I think the fact that Kennesaw State jumped so high wasn't just because of his recruiting class. It was because of everyone getting better. So I'm not as concerned about recruiting as I am the other stuff.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young
Oh, they played that so good. Dang it. Yes, the Providence game is the worst in any sports game I've ever played. I've been trying to give it a chance to release, but it doesn't matter the team I play with, who we're against either. I haven't gotten far enough to know how extensively bad the programming is. Wow, they are just jumping over everything that I'm doing right now. I do know that there's issues with how they do the top 10. And I know there's lots of simulation issues which they've already talked about potentially addressing. No! God dang it. Cool. I like coming back anyway. We're down 14. It's fine. We'll come back. So I don't know. I definitely know they're talking about adjusting those things, but the biggest thing for me is the dynasty and the immersion, right? Like, that's the biggest thing. I gotta stop throwing interceptions, man. I've thrown 2 already. They need to fix it ASAP, I know, but even with the sliders, I can barely beat teams in 5+ overalls better than. Is like no one in building a team and recruiting nothing.
Take that thing all the way back, brother.
Oh, you're referring to, okay, like the really top-rated teams losing to like the lower-rated teams? Yeah, and I know that they've talked about that. Like, they've talked about how they need to make some adjustments in the rate at which lower teams beat, like, top-tier teams. It happens way too often. And that's just the sim engine, you know what I mean? The nice thing is that they've already come out and said, we're going to run the ball, because I can't throw the ball apparently right now. They've already said they're looking at that. What I want them to acknowledge is the issue with the progression. I need them to come out and say something with progression. They need to be like, hey guys, look, progression is working. I mean, if they come out and say, hey, progression at 100 is working as intended, but it was supposed to have a slower rate when it's at 0 that it currently doesn't have, fine. Come out, but they got to say something.
finally generate something positive on the ground.
And I can't tell you how easy it is.
Oh my God. They're playing all that underneath stuff so good. We're going to have to maybe take a... I mean, that's like my third attempt at an RPO. Something short. And they're just all over it, man.
To the air, it's Keene. Unloads to the wideout.
Let's go. Threaded that needle. God. Sick of throwing interceptions, man.
You and I were talking about
But I'm trying to... Oh, don't tell me he didn't catch it. But I was like, you know, typically RPO screens are a great way to get yourself started. We caught that. Yeah, we caught that. How long are they gonna... Oh, it's me. Not realizing that they...
The Bulldogs are marching down the field.
Oops.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their running
Shoot.
game. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards.
Sucks. I want to run these RPOs and stuff like that, but... Yeah, see, I went to Operation Sports when I was working on my... When I first started doing my sims and I was just going like crazy and I'm messing with it, I went to go see what was being said over there. And that's where I kind of realized there were some major issues, and that's when I adjusted and started testing something completely different and found out what I found out.
They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Fires to the big fella.
All right, we're finally moving the football. It's crazy what happens when you don't throw interceptions all the time, right? So if we get this look that I'm... All right, we got this look with Moss. He's one-on-one. So the only time I've ever had a DPI was I'll throw this route. He should be open. Nice play. Is at the top of the screen, or at the top of the break when he was going to go out, the guy got in front of him and held him a little bit, and
They're going to throw it again. Quick strike complete.
hey,
At the 20, he's got space.
at least we're moving the football, y'all.
Job there by both guys to throw
I don't know what I
and
just called.
work that defense and get the first down. From the red, quickly complete. They
Heck
go
yeah,
up
we're
top,
driving.
down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
Your defense is too unrealistically bad. What's going on with your defense?
Afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire
Defense
life.
is challenging, but I do
Why wouldn't you try to get him
like it, and you can definitely find ways to be successful. Normally, the way to be successful.
after the catch?
That was cake. Let's go. That's a good drive.
After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into it.
Pressure is what kind of dictates everything.
You get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop.
And that's something I was trying to work on too, was create more pressure, because that's the only way to get the CPU to have off-target throws. If you don't get pressure, they're going to sit back there in a clean pocket, and they're going to dice you up. As they should. They're in a clean pocket.
Georgia looked less like a pack of dogs.
Bro, I still can't believe that Angry Joe put a clip of my stuff in his video. I need to see that. I've seen it, the recommendation popped up on my YouTube, but I haven't watched it yet.
Each week in college football, the tests are just so tough.
Hey, that's a good start defensively.
Compares to a top 5 duel, a revealing outcome with massive implications.
And Kevin Connors,
What kind of
keeping an eye
packages
on
do you guys like to
everything all
run?
over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there.
Like, what's your favorite disguised look, you know?
Second and 12.
I love showing cover 0 and then dropping into... Oh, no.
Reaches into the bag of moves and finds his way up to the
So the running game definitely seems to be massively improved, right, with that change.
last run.
From the feedback we were getting where the running game wasn't there for the CPU.
Wants to throw.
Definitely seems to look at pressure. He needs to get rid of it. They gotta. That's a thing that's been in Madden. But hey, we'll take the sack. But he needs to get rid of it. You can't lie. The tackling is what gets you the most so far. Do you mean like all the missed tackling, like in your favor, or like the CPU breaks your tackles?
The Rebels will line up to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball.
Do you have your switch assist turned on, Jason?
He gets a block.
Hey, good return. We're in business. We're in business.
That's how this period will come to an end. Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and UNLV has the edge. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second.
Those numbers can't be right. They went down the field on me, and I want to play action. Bomb.
Fresno State takes over in the offense. We'll go back to work.
Turn down your tackling, bro. Or the face mask slider.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last.
It's not the bomb that I want. It's moving the football, you know.
When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same.
This one from the 29 on first down.
He read that so well. But they had it. They had the. Yeah, just lower the face masking, bro. Lower the face. It'll impact both, but.
The give to the tailback.
Oh, good defense.
Give him 1 to the 28-yard line.
And that's what you try to do as a defense.
Now, the big thing is we are in field goal range here, so I don't want to do anything that could jeopardize that.
Just set your defense for positive situations down the road.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here.
Huge, huge, huge.
Working that sideline and getting the toe down for the catch. And the Bulldogs are moving quickly down the field.
And the defense has to be kicking themselves for allowing a first down there. You're just
Can we tie this up here?
Them a few yards and let them set up for a field goal instead.
I mean, I said we'd come from behind. I don't know. I'm frustrated that I can't get any RPOs. Ooh, we might have one here. Oh my god. Depends on what that corner does. Truck him. Oh, dang it. That's good defense. I thought we were going to truck him. Oh, there's a play I want here. It's in pistol. It's, it must not be that one. It must be, there's one where the tight end, no, I don't know where it's at. We'll just run it.
They keep pushing forward down to the.
There's one where you have 2 wide receivers to the left side and then a tight end, and it's an RPO where the tight end just goes in the flat and they essentially just kind of block for him.
Trying to run it in. And he'll find the end
Heck
zone.
yeah.
Touchdown, Fresno State.
We're tied up.
And I love it. I love the
Yeah, you'll see a lot of missed tackles. I agree 100%, but the rate initially is definitely excessive. I still want the broken tackles because I want the big plays. I just don't want it to be where they're constantly, like, your defenders just don't matter, you know? The broken tackles need to just make sense. And that's why I haven't gone so extreme on the face mask, just a little bit. You don't need to do much.
And here's the return. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Guys, the
All right, 0-0.
defense ready to go back to work.
We spotted them a quick 14.
They'd like to be more productive this time
It's an interesting formation.
drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really quickly. They need to put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Now it's 2nd and 10. from
I don't
15.
think the game cheats so much. I mean, I used to feel like that
The run.
when on the higher difficulties you get that crazy boost.
Spectacular play by that defense. defensive end to come up with the tackle.
But they got rid of that for all Madden and Heisman. And so now they just play smarter.
50 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low.
Look at what pressure does. He took a deep shot. We got a pass deflection, and we forced a stop.
And the Rebels will punt this one away.
No, Clayton, do not.
Know where the ball is going.
I don't think you can even do that.
Job by the DB adjusting to the football, playing the wide receiver, and making
I don't think you can even do it.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out.
This was a play I should have called the first time. But hey, we're in
State offense onto the field.
close to the
This could
50.
be a
Oh,
real
they're playing way
turning
off
point in
though.
the game. They scored a touchdown. They got to stop. And now a chance to break the tie.
Yeah, this offense has got it cooking, man. And how about the defense? Great job getting that stop, getting the football right back to the hot hand. Now this offense
The quarterbacks do scramble, just not nearly enough, but there's nothing to really edit. They take the deep shots here. I wish they scrambled more.
They are ready to drive this ball and go score.
Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
But there's just not much that can be done with the restrictions that we have. All you can really edit is the gear. You can't edit anything else.
Up front on the offensive line, they haven't been physical.
Looking to throw, it's Keene. Spits it out to the back. Makes the grab.
Huge.
And they
Our
rip it
offense
up, but
is...
not before he's
We're
got
starting to
enough
cook
for
a
the
little
first
bit here.
down.
Yeah, and a really good job by the QB understanding it. Seeing the running back, waiting for him to break. He runs the angle route, breaks inside.
Where should we slide?
Nice touch by the QB.
Slide to the left
It's really
here.
important to have that touch too, David, because you got to remember these running backs. Yeah, they've got good hands, but they're not stud wide receivers. So the location of the throw has to be good.
Pressure. I love it.
Put a little bit of touch on it, make it easy for him.
You can't unless you do all the rosters before it. Well, I didn't think you could even edit that stuff.
The last couple weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And
I thought they restricted like everything that you could edit,
you can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him getting the ball to different wide
other
receivers.
than like accessories and whatnot.
Improved the last couple games.
I didn't think you could even edit like their throw style or their play style as a quarterback or.
They go to the draw. We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again.
They try to go with draw, and they didn't catch the defense blitzing, so it wasn't a great look anyway. But up front, they just got beat regardless, and that back David had nowhere to go.
He had nowhere to go.
What are we thinking here? All right.
Set, and you got to invite those defensive linemen up the field and kind of push them.
Oh, I let him too much. We had him. You turned off intentional grounding. I found that helps. It helps him scramble. I've always turned it off in
Offensive line needs to do a better job.
Madden, and I initially had it off here, and it felt like they stopped throwing the ball down the field. Shoot.
And the punt will hit at the center.
I tested it initially off.
When it goes into the end zone, it'll come out to the 20. The UNLV offense ready to
And I
return.
stopped seeing.
Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
Last drive, that 3 and out.
It's like I played the first night I streamed. I streamed a couple games, and I left everything on default.
Predictable, that last drive.
And then I started doing some of the things I do. You know, and I messed with intentional grounding.
Getting 6 yards out to the 26.
And I was playing it again, and I was like, yo, this doesn't play the same. Quarterbacks aren't playing the same.
They will just add up.
They weren't throwing the ball down the field. I even went back and watched my stream to make sure I wasn't just tripping. And they weren't. So then I turned it back on.
Stop him after a
They started pushing the ball down the field again. And you've already seen him here throw the ball down the field a couple times. And so that's one thing. I don't know if it helps with scrambling for sure, but it definitely impacts
Those are the best run defenses too, right? It's not just
impacts their
getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle
we'll
back.
do this look. Zone blitz it. Impacts them throwing the ball down the field.
From the gun, the running back looking for room. Couldn't fight his way out of his grasp.
Everybody talks about DBs. They talk about dropping in coverage and not being physical. That DB begs to differ.
This half is flown by, man.
Physical like a linebacker.
Switch it
They
up.
got
Show
nothing
2,
on the
be a
last
cover
play,
3.
2nd and 10. Dropping back, it's O'Neal. Finds his tight end.
Oh!
Everybody needs a little luck, and the
Oh, no, now they're going.
on that fumble.
Hurry up on me.
Get to the line quickly for this third down play.
Are they just going to run clock? Are they tricking me here? Bro, did they just run hurry up to trick me and then run the clock down? I don't know if that was like a glitch and they just didn't call it, or if that was designed and to get me to burn a timeout, but either way, we're going to pretend it was legit, and it's pretty cool. Getting some pressure. Is that a holding, or is it a roughing the passer? Shoot. So see, it's still there on 50. There's really no reason to...
That was right on the borderline. You want to make that.
Oh, and they just tacked on.
The official thought it was a little too much. The roughing the passer penalty.
We got the pressure, man.
Looking to move it through the air. Fires to the big fella.
See, there's still broken tackles with it on 40 on 43.
He's got size and he's got some athleticism, and he's very difficult to cover one-on-one. Defense is going to have their hands full with him today.
They get the ball first, and there's a deep shot, touchdown.
And he's got it.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man. You want to
But pass defense shouldn't be that great. Like most of the stops in college football come from turnovers, penalties that create a long down distance, or a sack.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on?
There's not a ton of just straight up, when you have pretty evenly matched up teams, right? There's not typically a ton of just straight up defensive stops. There's definitely defensive stops, but it's not like it is in the NFL. Ooh, almost got my head ripped off there.
This top 15 battle was much anticipated, and at least one side can say it's a game they'll savor for some time.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, I can't.
Had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update.
Got him.
He puts a line.
Threw it too far. Threw it too far. Threw it too far. Oh, I threw it too far. I had him. Oh, it was the pressure got me. Yo, Christian, they're going great, man. You went strong left versus their shot. Had him, and I overthrew it. Well, that's because of the pressure, though. So I like that. Let's go. And we will.
Stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line.
We're going to bark out some plays.
Hand off from the gun. And he'll find enough running.
We only have 2 timeouts, so I'm trying to be.
Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running.
Here we go.
Looking downfield, it's Keene.
And we can get out. Stop the clock for free. Heck yeah. If we can at least get into field goal range. Ooh, I like this play right here. We have timeouts.
But it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows.
I'm on. Oh, that's a great question. In case people are curious, for my passing, I am on. I believe I'm on medium as well. I have rebound passing, medium, and then I have it on 7.
And find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Pressure coming.
Oh.
I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
It's a good pass rush. I like that there's a pass rush, man. It feels a lot more balanced for the user in the CPU.
Just an inaccurate throw by the quarterback.
I don't like this.
They'll run play action. Pocket
I didn't like that.
Nothing open down.
Pre-snap, I didn't like that. They had good defense against that. Frank Daniels, appreciate the videos and the time put into testing XP progression. While I'm sure there are issues with the progression, your numbers seem to indicate the issue. I don't think it's recruiting. I think it's I'm not saying that there's not an issue with recruiting, but I think that more than recruiting, the issue is 100%.
Third and long. He's going to have to throw for it.
Call timeout. 100% the progression, man. Because when you have XP set to 0, which means you're getting the least amount of possible XP. When you have it set to 0, and in 4 years, the amount of 80-plus rated players in the entire college landscape damn near doubles, that's more than recruiting.
They'll throw it on first down. Takes the easy completion.
I'm going to have to waste the time out there. That was not a good thing to do. But we got a couple shots at the end zone. 2nd and 8. Man. I don't want to screw us out of a field goal at least. You know what I mean?
The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Back to throw, it's Keene.
That was perfect. Now we get a couple shots at the end zone. But I mean, we have to go to the end zone. Can't really go anywhere else given the time.
They'll throw it from the red. He'll take a shot. And it's
incomplete.
He was looking to the end zone and trying to
I want to try one more shot.
You know, it's a good decision by the QB because
Let's try one more shot. We got time.
throw it out of bounds and you can live to play another day here.
Bethlehem Kid. This is on All-American right now. All-American with some changes.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10.
No, that's the last thing I could do. Shoot! Oh, that was the worst thing I could have done. Take a sack. But I didn't have anyone far enough downfield just to chuck it up. Dang it. That's 3 points.
And it's been a battle of wills between
that sucks.
Teams through 2 quarters. Bend but don't break. They've managed to neutralize the
Ramsden, though, the problem with that, though, is that impacts the CPU as well. So even though if I drop holding, the impact is for both the user and the CPU. And if I change my blocking to aggressive, there's no way to make sure the CPU does the same thing. So then you're, by default, creating an imbalance. Yes, they take advantage of coaching adjustments, but you don't know, like, you can't force them to do anything. And so the way I have it is to make it the most even possible playing field.
And he hauls it in and everybody's on the edge of their seats. He was looking.
Dude, it's tough playing against some of those teams on the road. Like Michigan, dude. I couldn't throw the ball because I couldn't, like, all my receiver icons were either not showing, or if they did show, the route was incorrect.
Quick pass on the fly motion.
That's coming back. That's a hold.
He's knocked down, but there's also a flag that's been dropped. Let's check on the call.
I think the average overall, the new recruiting classes is causing a huge influx of. Well, I know that's a good thought, Frank. However, we've had some people in this chat say that they've had like existing players be like a guy said 57 overall center, did not play because again he's a 57 overall. Jumped after 1 year of riding the bench to a 74. Jumped 17 from 57. Playing. That's an existing. So, oh my God, he's gonna take this to the house. So, that right there shows that it's not just. It's not just the recruiting classes. I'm not saying that the recruiting classes don't have an impact on that, but I don't think it's just these recruiting classes are coming in and all these players are rated high, and that's causing it when there's perfect examples of players making extreme jumps. Someone in my Discord posted they had like a 60. They couldn't figure it out. They had like a 67 overall quarterback. This is what he said. He was so frustrated. He won the Heisman with his 84 overall quarterback. His quarterback, who won the Heisman, 84 overall sophomore, did not improve at all. And he had a quarterback on his bench who was a 67 overall, played 5 snaps, he said. The whole season, played 5 snaps. Jumped to an 80 overall. Was that TD versus man? I don't remember what I called. If I'm being honest with you. I think it was man. I think I did call man. Ooh, is he blitzing? Nope. He faked it. 50 cents. Oh, there it is, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. You were the one who dropped that that little nugget of information in there. Was that an existing player, Brian, or is that somebody that you had, like a created player in recruiting class, and then you simulated or played a year, and then he did that?
Use the play fake now to throw. Fires to the tight end.
Ooh.
And he was able to tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
Gameplay. Is it perfect? No. But is it really good? Absolutely it is. And Madden's gameplay is very similar to this. Oh my god, no. Madden 25's gameplay.
You know, the runner just has to have a little bit more patience. Bounce that thing outside a little too early.
My issue is just the immersion breaking of the Dynasty with the players. So that's why I'm not playing with the team that I really want. Because in its current state, you could maybe go 1-2 years. You could for sure go 2 years. But not many people want to play for 2 years, get invested in their team and their dynasty, and then be like, all right, well, time to restart because it's gotten too easy. Oh, block him! 51? What are you doing, dude? These RPOs and screens have not worked against these guys. They are jumping all over it. I don't like this look. Hurry, 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 hurry.
They'll run it out of the shotgun.
Not much running against them either. We've been able to pass the ball. We have not been able to run the ball against them very much.
That wasn't the greatest run, but it was very successful in making me honor the run. And another thing, every time you run the football, someone gets tackled. There's physicality involved in the game. So I like when offenses commit to the running the football.
Bro, I mean, you could send it to EA, but I don't know if it'll matter. I haven't seen them. Oh no, third one of the game. God, I thought he was carrying. I'm going to actually instant replay this one. I thought he was going to carry. Shoot. I mean, they dropped into the zone. And I thought he was going to carry. So he drops right here. So I thought he was going to carry with look at. The reason I threw this is because he turns to drop back. So I thought he was going to carry with him. And that means I thought this area right here where Zero's currently at was going to clear out, which is why I threw it. But, and props to the gameplay here, I'm not even mad about this. He's looking right at me. He reads me, and he goes and jumps it. I just thought it was going to clear out. I made a mistake. I read it wrong. I think that's great for the gameplay. Holding.
Not so fast. They come away with the pick.
Let me catch up on some comments here. Great. I was just looking at your numbers and haven't done much myself because I've been waiting for ranking logic to be fixed before diving Yeah, I wish the revamped was in Madden as well. I really do. I don't like that passing system. I like the trajectories that are on this now. And part of the reason I throw a lot of interceptions is I'm just so used to how quickly the balls travel in Madden because of the poor trajectories. We need another holding call? Okay, back-to-back holding calls.
How many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive? We'll see if the offense can overcome it.
Dawn Island. After watching your video, I can't even play Dynasty now. It's ruined the immersion for me. I'll wait till they address it. I'm sorry, bro. I wasn't trying to ruin anything for anybody. I was just trying to bring stuff to light. But if it makes you feel any better, I feel the same way. Like, my Dynasty's not going to be Fresno State. Like, that's not who I had plans of using. I actually picked Fresno State just to work on some sliders and show stuff off because they're a very middle-of-the-pack team. So you're not trying to test stuff with a really low-rated team, and you're not doing it with a really high-rated team, which is going to give you different results. Go middle of the pack. NCO6 next is... Dude, they had some great immersion in NCO6. Alright, let's see if I can catch up here. They haven't fixed the ranking yet. They said that they are working on it when they dropped. We're not getting any pressure here. Deep shot? No. Played coverage, got no pass rush with the coverage look.
Now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
Wow.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. Let's go to the studio now and check in.
So we'll see when they come out and fix it. Tony, you're saying, I exited out of your first game with Georgia State, which was a pretty close game. You changed the halfback sub to in and out 89-84, and you're up 41-3, 4 minutes left in the second quarter. So you're saying that had a negative impact on the CPU running game, is what you're saying, Tony? One, see how they're attacking your zone to the weak side? Yes, but at the same time, bro, I'll be honest with you, when I'm streaming and stuff, I don't pay, I'm not like dialed in as much to that because I like to talk with you guys and interact with you guys, and so I'm not as locked in as when I play off stream. Like when you guys watch or look at my uploads, you'll see me play, I'm completely different because of, I'm not focusing on chit chatting and all that stuff. How I call my defense is completely different. I spend more time focusing and looking at things and, you know, all that fun stuff. But I enjoy this more because we got him. Let's go. I mean, I love chatting with you guys and talking and stuff, and I'll choose that all day over playing offline, and might be more successful winning games. And
somebody on defense blew their assignment.
They're threatening to score and they'll throw it.
That was not ideal. So it impacted the amount of times that they run the ball.
Was right there to knock it down. They'll line up for a second down play.
I want to make sure I know.
And then they're not very successful with it.
And I can't let guys like this guy slip out of the backfield and make big plays against me. Good job being aware that they can throw the ball to the running back, closing space and getting that fast into the ground.
Our running game has not been there today. Oh, I don't like any of these play calls.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease.
Nothing there.
He can make yards for him.
I wish RPOs would work against this team. They jump every single one. But we'll do it so I don't throw an interception. And see, look, I haven't had an RPO be successful all day, but we'll at least take the field goal. As long as I don't choke and max boot it.
You gotta love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you
We'll take the
prevent
points at this
opponent
point.
from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. What do? You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water.
So here's should be interesting, Tony, is if you backed out of that game and then changed the auto subs back and then fired it back up and see if it was still the same. When do you think they'll implement AI commentary so there won't be any repeat lines from the game to game? I thought they would have already done that this year. I think there's a lot to go into that. I've been wondering about that myself. It's like, hey, we have this AI, and it'd be fantastic to throw it in there. It would require an always online connection, number one. You'd have to always be connected to the internet. And you'd have to develop a program and build it into your software, which I think would cost quite a bit of money. Now, when you'd have to think, okay, how much do they pay? They have 2 commentary teams here, so there are 5 guys that they pay. Look at how much they got to pay all those guys. And then could they build an AI commentary with, remember, multiple voices for the same amount of money or even less? Chances are at this point, no. But as the technology advances, we all know technology gets cheaper the longer it's around. So maybe in like 2 or 3 years, I think that'd be something that they should look at. And you don't even have to get random people. You can literally just have people, like real commentators, sign off and say, hey,